Did he spoil you? Lots of presents, lots of goodies?
Yeah, but he spoiled everyone. I mean, he was just very generous.
When you and Elvis finally decided that your marriage was over, it has been written that even though it was over, you remain good friends. Is that a true statement?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I don't care what's been written. You know, we were always very close. We had a very good relationship. In fact, Lisa, our daughter, you know, always felt very healthy that way because it was always as if we never divorced. He's had so much written about him that I think enough has been said. I hope the people, the public, will see him as a great entertainer and a great person, and not, you know, what people have portrayed him. I mean, there's so much untruth about a lot of that I couldn't see that. I couldn't see doing that.
Family did mean a lot to him, and he would always, at night before we'd go to bed, he would, in his wonderful way of talking, you know, he would say, you know, best at our little family, you, me, and Yisa. Having that security of a family meant everything to him. More so than I ever realized. You know, when I left, I didn't realize that, how much that meant, because I thought he could survive well. I thought it was okay. Until I talked to him later, until we have long hours of telephone conversations, when he would call or he'd come over in the middle of the night, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and tell me how much he missed his family, that he never expected that to ever happen, and that it's been really difficult for him to get that back. Then did I start realizing how important that was to him. But there was no change, you know, during that time.
On May 1st, 1967, Priscilla walked down that aisle. We called it Elvis's May Day, and I was there. At about 4 in the morning, Elvis and Priscilla went to the Clark County Courthouse, where Elvis paid $15 for a marriage license. Then they drove to the Aladdin Hotel and retired, with the wedding set for early that same morning. There were only 14 people at the actual wedding, but a huge reception and press conference followed, and almost immediately the news was flashed around the world that Elvis Presley had been married. They were the picture of true love. Elvis was the happiest I'd seen him in a long, long time, and it was a dream come true for Priscilla. A 5-foot wedding cake and a massive diamond ring that Elvis's jeweler had flown in from Memphis, and attention like she'd never ever seen before. Michelle, Priscilla's younger sister, was her maid of honor. Mr. Presley was there, as were Priscilla's parents and family. They all flew back to Palm Springs. Elvis and Priscilla stayed there for a short honeymoon, then settling down to life in...
And then every night to go to sleep, he'd take some pills.
He'd have to. I mean, he would, he had a fear of insomnia, first of all. And when he woke up, he had a horrible fear he could never get back to sleep again. And it was real.
So every night he took the pills, and he gave them to you, too?
Yes.
And they became normal?
Mm-hmm.
So this is this bizarre life of being able to have or buy anything you want, loneliness, days of being alone with him in darkened rooms, pills, and you loved him.
Mm-hmm.
Was he good to you?
Very.
Was he also bad to you?
When you say bad to me, I don't think it wasn't bad to me in a way that, you know, intentional bad. Elvis went through an awful lot, and I think the communication that we had was very difficult and different.
She was telling me, son, I'll be all right. You know, but after I get out of the movie, said, I'll come back up here and see you and all. And she said, no. I said, that's okay. Said, you just go on home and get some rest. And the phone kept ringing downstairs. I got up and I run downstairs and I get it, and it's Vernon on the phone. You need to tell Elvis, and that's as far as he got. You know, he was sobbing. The nurse took the phone, and she said, you need to tell Mr. Presley that his mother's taking a turn for the worse and needs to get up here. I said, look, the nurse called and said, you know, you need to come up here because your mama's gotten a little sicker. And he just threw some shoes on, no socks. I mean, he didn't waste time. He didn't stop for red lights. When he got upstairs, all he had to do is he made around the nurse's desk, and there was a long corridor. And when he made that turn, his daddy was standing outside, and that was it. You know, when they saw each other, he knew. I mean, they just ran to each other and embraced each other. Boy, it was one of the most pitiful things you'll ever see.